Hi everyone, Lord Crew here, and welcome to my channel. So the topic for today is War Meta for weekend event week 121. So without further ado, guys, let's proceed. So as you can see, guys, on the last weekend event, week 121. So there are like three war deck that managed to enter the top 10, and we're gonna go to discuss that one, guys. And as you can see, as you all know, that the current meta for this week, it's more on a board wipe deck. And we all know last week the meta was a war control deck. So because of too many players playing war control deck, there are like low numbers of player who are playing now an aggressive deck. And we all know the number one the top on the list that can literally uh, has a high chance winning against board pipe death are the war aggro or the war frenzy aggro or the war slayer deck. And currently we have like a three deck that we can like discuss that one. And who knows if a lot of player were gonna go for a war aggro, it might be the next week meta, if especially if there's no a buff or nerf from Gods Unchained. So the first thing that I have to mention to you guys is uh this is like player number three. He has a Chinese character, and he managed to get 24 out of 25. So the good thing about this one, if we could like see his deck, he managed to get 24 wins because he is like a uh war slayer or war frenzy aggro, and we all know there are lots of player who played board wipe deck in mythic rank, and I believe like he has like a high chance of winning now against board white deck, and there he has like an opportunity also to win with other meta decks. So he managed to get a -1 to become a rank one player here. So if we check his deck, guys, he's literally uh going for a early win before it turns 6 or it turns 7, and we all know Frenzy Agrowar is capable of this one using God Slayer, God Power to deals more damage, and he's using his aggressive cast to either do the board control or do more damage. For example, if you manage to play Master Tactician, this is hard to kill, especially if you're using a spell damage or creature damage, and he managed to ramp up play lots of early board creature, and then later he will gonna use red fume serum. So since the guild enforcer has been introduced now, guys, in last week meta, there are lots of player now are adding guild enforcer, and the good thing combo with the guild enforcer are the red fume. Imagine though, this will become now an 8-9 with 2 armor, and even though he costs burn +1, the guild enforcer will not be affected by burn because of the armor. And as you can see, this is like literally can kill uh uh uh, uh and because of like I said, because of also of the additional armor with Refume, even the lightning strike of nature will be not enough to destroy Guild Enforcer on this one, and this can literally give massive damage. So even the Red Fume, even I add him to Raid Revealer or other creature here, it still be a massive damage in this one. And as you can see, he has also Vicious Rend, can literally activate your frenzies. Frenzy for especially for Angel Bruiser that are also good for destroying one like a one health minion, and then yet still uh push all the damage to the player itself. You will use and the good thing about this one, this is a little bit like a budget deck. This is not like a very expensive deck like a board wipe deck. As you can notice, he just used Blade of Sticks here. He's not using Scythe, one of the best weapon for war, and yet he managed to get a good 24 wins, this guy. So I highly recommend this one. Munyoshan Infiltrator has been added. This is like to counter other aggressive deck with the Pyramid Warden. This is like a good counter for Pyramid. So he had this one as a one of his tech cards against aggressive one. Warmonger, good to boost your weapon for Valka's Captain and also for your Blade of Stick. And he has like one another round to pump up other creature. And FYI, if this frenzy, you can add +1/+1 to other creatures. So I highly recommend this deck, guys. And there's another deck also managed to enter the top 10. And this is Sparta Doyle. If we compare that one, Sparta Doyle managed to get 23 wins out of 25. So this is like literally telling us that board wipe deck it's not the perfect deck. There's still a big counter. So almost like the same build, guys. The only thing that I noticed is added Anar and Hirtakus here. This is like a little bit like a mid range, and these two are like a good combo. Hirtakus has been famous now for war because it can like literally destroy other big wall creature of the opponent, and even combined with Anar here, guys. Even though the opponent has no creature at the board, this one can be used as a tech card either to destroy other opponent creature or deals damage to additional damage to opponent's gods. So this is like almost like identical. The only thing is has more another round here. Same tech regarding he doesn't have like only the difference. He doesn't have the vicious rend, but he has like enduring shield. So almost like so he just replaced vicious rend to add more two more of the two more of the six casting costs here. And he only has one Valkas captain to make way for the another round. So that's like the only changes here. Okay, so I don't know who went for uh if Sparta Doyle who went to the top 10 and then copied by because they're like almost identical. So who knows first? So another war player who managed to get to the top 10 are by this player. I think he's number 9 and he's unknown. He never change his user ID. But he managed to win using a war control. So war control was famous last week, but on the war control last week, majority of the war player using the Valkas present. The summon 1/1 creature and combo it with out of its misery. And the good thing about him, guys, he used Slayer instead of that one. And if you're like a war control and you're facing board wipe death, I highly recommend to use Slayer because Slayer is a unlimited deals 2 damage. Yes, board wipe death has heal, but this is like a unlimited deals 2 damage, and board wipe death might be run out of health eventually in this one. So that's like I noticed. So FYI, War Control are very good versus other aggro decks, especially its own Frenzy, because he has like multiple Leech cards here. The only difference between this deck compared with the other War Aggro War Control by the previous week, our players have Demogorgon. So this one, he has no Demogorgon, but he managed to use Hitakus and Strength on numbers, and the rest are creatures and weapon like can do damage versus other control. So this is the good thing about War Control. War Control are good for aggro, and if your opponent is control, you can like literally take advantage of your multiple creatures here at the early round to do damage, and later on just do Slayer damage. Like deals more damage here. And the one thing famous about the war control is the Leviathan or anything that is weapon, and then the Carnage Whip. Literally, this is like a version of Apocalypse, but only one time Apocalypse. So yeah, I know like some of the big legendary creature has ward, but yet still this is like also good versus nature, who are like we know like heavy big creature and those ones. So using Guild Enforcer as a part of the new meta here. So that's it, guys. So for the next week, if you're planning to want to if people wants to overthrow board wide deck as a meta deck, I highly recommend go for the aggressive deck. So and FYI, this is like a cheaper version. You don't it means you can like defeated expensive deck using this one. So I highly recommend this one for beginners or the free to play players in the mythic rank. Okay, and technically speaking, who knows, this frenzy aggro might overtake the board wipe deck next week, and probably who knows, the control war also might take back also the being the top 10 or top 20 in the current meta. And guys, if you have like questions, suggestions, kindly leave me a comment, and if you like the video, kindly please subscribe and like for more Guns and Chain content. And thank you, and have a nice day, guys.